Welcome to Granted, where emerging research demands exploration. Today, we are diving into a topic that's both timely and deeply relevant: the well being of women pursuing professions in Goa. We are honored to have Cedila Gomes with us, whose research in this area is shedding light on the unique challenges and opportunities facing women in professional fields. Cedila's work offers crucial insights into how we can create more supportive and equitable workplaces. We'll be exploring the common struggles women face in balancing work and life, discussing policy recommendations for organizations and policymakers. We will be examining how research can translate into real world change. So join us in welcoming Cedila Gomes, who's working towards a more balanced and fulfilling future for working women in Goa. Hello, Cedila. How are you?
Thank you for this opportunity to highlight my research on women professionals in the private sector. I am Cedila Gomes, lecturer in the Department of Psychology at MES Vasan Joshi College of Arts and Commerce, Zuarinagar, having a teaching experience of nearly 2 decades. I am pursuing my PhD at the Department of Applied Psychology and Counseling Center, University of Mumbai. At the outset, I would like to acknowledge the support of my guide, Dr. Wilbur Gonsalves, in my research endeavor. I also thank my principal, Professor Manasvi Kamath, for her support and motivation. My research area focuses on the well-being of Goan women professionals in the private sectors, such as banking, hospitality, pharmaceutical, manufacturing, and IT. Women form an integral part of the workforce in Goa, with many women pursuing further studies and opting for professional courses and are having amazing careers. This study examines factors influencing the well being of married women in professional roles. At present, there is a lack of data on the number of women professionals in these sectors in Goa. I am looking forward to the participation of women professionals in my research endeavor.
Cedila, your research focuses on well-being of women in the private sector, industry, the workforce. What are some of the common challenges in balancing their work and personal lives?
घर आणि काम दोन्ही जीवितांत खूप महत्वाची. दोन्हीचे मध्ये समतोल दवरूंक जाय. Work-life balance is important. Women often face pressure to be the perfect mothers and successful professionals, leading to stress and guilt when they feel they are falling short. My research explores the striving towards work-life balance, the late nights, the rushed mornings, the constant juggle, connecting with thousands of women, because this research is an indicator of where change must occur. From this research, we need to build workplaces where having it all doesn't mean sacrificing everything, where societal expectations align with individual potential, and self care is a right, not a luxury.
Cedila, in our busy routines, we often forget self-care. Going on this vein, tell our audience, what advice would you give to young women professionals in Goa who are navigating the challenges of work and personal life?
Work life balance is a phrase that often feels more like a myth than a reality. Women, in particular, often bear the brunt of societal expectations, both at home and in the workplace. However, today research is throwing light on this struggle, revealing that balance isn't some magical gift. It is a learned skill, a conscious practice. It's about prioritizing tasks, focusing on what truly matters. Scheduling self care is very important. Leveraging time management techniques are required to maximize productivity at work and also to make time for your personal life. By actively seeking mentorship, building strong professional networks, and embracing continuous learning, you can equip yourself with the tools and support you need to shape a career and a life that you own, a life where you feel empowered, fulfilled, and in control.
a very powerful message you've given. Building networks is crucial to all of these efforts, in making a very vulnerable section of our community safe and secure. And given that Goa operates with a unique blend of decentralized government, it's a network setup and a strong cultural identity. How can the findings of your research on women's well-being in Goa help the community members?
गोवा सामाजिक बदलाचे बाबतींत एक खूब उत्सुकता उत्पादक उदाहरण असा. Goa presents a fascinating case study in societal change, and my research on women's well being in the private sector offers valuable insights. In the past, women's voices were often relegated to the background, and their experiences weren't fully understood or valued, particularly when it came to gender roles and societal expectations. But today, in Goa's unique cultural landscape, we are seeing a shift from silent observers to active architects. Goa's women are rewriting the narrative of social change. My research connects women's agency and empowerment. Goa's distinct history, its rich cultural heritage, blending Indian and Portuguese influences, creates a social context unlike any other. Studying women's experiences here allows us to see how cultural norms interact with economic and political factors to shape gender dynamics in the workplace. Looking to the future, Goa's unique blend of tradition and modernity evolves into a recognized Goa model of development. This is a model where women's voices actively shape the very fabric of society and governance. By understanding and addressing the challenges women face in the private sector, we can create a more equitable and inclusive society, not just for Goa, but potentially as a guiding example for other regions grappling with similar issues of cultural identity and social change.
This effort requires a lot of collaboration between academia, industry, policymakers. All of them have to come together to bring about change for the best of, women empowerment, women development. Can you tell our audience that how will your findings be implemented to improve the well-being of women employees across Goa?
Yes. In the past, it was often said that knowledge is power, but unfortunately, that power was locked away in academic journals or reports, failing to translate into meaningful change on the ground. Research findings often didn't reach the people who could use them most effectively: industry, leaders, and policymakers. But today, we are recognizing the immense power of collaboration where academia, industry, and policy unite to empower women. Data analysis from my research will reveal the transformative potential of joint research initiatives, knowledge sharing platforms, and robust policy dialogues that actively connect academia, industry, and policymakers. Looking to the future, this collaboration promises a dynamic and effective ecosystem where research directly translates into actionable policies and inclusive workplaces. It's a future where academia, industry, and policymakers work in synergy, fostering a more equitable and prosperous Goa where every woman can thrive.
For those who are watching this show, you must know that Goa is bestowed with 20 plus industrial zones. And all of these industrial areas are populated by individuals, women, men who are working towards the development of the state. Some of them natives, some of them who've come from outside to improve their fortunes, to make their fortunes. And considering the potential of Cedila's research findings to bring across this huge change, we want to learn from you, Cedila, how the Goa model of development can, learn from your practices, from your research, and what are the key policy recommendations you would like to make?
As the saying goes, the devil is in the details. In the past, crucial details were overlooked or ignored in workplace policies. This led to unintended consequences and a lack of real progress for women. Currently, there is a critical need for specific and targeted interventions. No more overlooking the details. The Goa model is built on targeted action where every policy empowers women. In order to create a Goa model of development that truly prioritizes women's well being, we must focus on key policy recommendations. These include promoting work life balance through flexible work arrangements that empower women to manage their responsibilities effectively, providing health insurance plans that cover women's specific health needs, including reproductive health and mental well being, implementing wellness programs that promote physical activity, stress management, and mental health, such as yoga classes, mindfulness workshops, and access to mental health resources. Offering comprehensive childcare support to alleviate the burden on working mothers. We need to shift the focus from presentism to productivity, as presentism is more harmful than absenteeism. We need to recognize that quality work is more valuable than simply putting in long hours. From my research findings and these targeted policy recommendations, we have the promise to create a Goa model where presentism is replaced by genuine productivity, where quality work triumphs over mere quantity, and where women's well being is not an afterthought, but a foundational pillar of success, a model that can be replicated and adapted in other regions as well.
Friends, science thrives on questions, and so do we. Granted, sparks conversations about emerging trends, giving voice to experts and clarity to you, our bright and inquisitive audience. This has been a truly insightful conversation with Cedila Gomes, illuminating the multifaceted realities faced by married women in the private sector, in the professions. From the need to be flexible in terms of work arrangements and accessible childcare to importance of addressing systemic biases, Cedila's research offers a roadmap for positive change. We've learned how crucial collaborations are important between academia, industry, and policymakers to create workplaces where women can thrive. And now, Cedila, as we wrap up this show, we would like for you to have the last word. What key message or call to action would you like to leave our listeners with today?
Yes, Bhuvan, in conclusion, I would like to stress that my research is deeply rooted in Goa's unique cultural tapestry with a central focus on amplifying the voices of women in the private sector. Goa's story, told by its women, research that listens, analyzes, and illuminates the path to social change. By carefully analyzing the data and connecting it to Goa's decentralized system and rich cultural identity, this research offers valuable insights into the complex dynamics of social change, particularly concerning gender and workplace culture. To ensure the impact of this research work, I humbly request CEOs, directors, managers of organizations across sectors like IT, banking, insurance and financial services, pharmaceuticals, hospitality, manufacturing, and retail industries to share the link with their women colleagues and encourage them to participate in this study. I request all married women professionals in these sectors to be agents of social change. The responses received will be confidential and anonymous. The Google form can be completed in one or two sittings as Google will autosave the responses. You can access the form in the description box below. I look forward to your valuable contribution in this research endeavor. Together, we can make a difference. Dev Boren Koru.